Finally, we've been waiting for this, the return. What's going on, y'all? It's Josh back again with a new video. Oh, sorry, I know it's been a while. We're back into the retro Reduxes. Today we're gonna do The Batman, directed by Matt Reaves. Now, this is indeed one of my favorite movies. Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Colin Farrell, my boy Jeffrey Wright. How could I forget Jeffrey Wright? I'm gonna sit here and try to convey to you in the best way possible why I think The Batman is one of the best DC films ever, and quite possibly the best Batman film. So, DC fans, comic book fans, and especially you Snyder fans,
open your eyes! Alright, he wants to get his girlfriend. Go get your girlfriend. Alright, and now you are going to dance like you've never danced before. Alright, they'll be mashed.
First things first, this intro is gas.
It's a big city. I can't be everywhere. They think I'm hiding in the shadows. But I am the shadows.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga! You know nothing about that!
Gotham's presented in a realistic but also very stylized way that allows the city to feel the most alive it's ever been in any of these movies. Considering the Dark Knight trilogy, especially the later two, just took on real cities as the location of Gotham, there never really felt a moment as if Gotham was a part of the story or the character. It really could have been any city on Earth in those movies. Overall, I also gotta say, this might be the best Batman, like for real. He's a younger Batman. This is year 2 Batman. He's super young in comparison to what we're used to with Batman. He's way more brash and arrogant. He's pretty much like Batman Arkham Origins.
I didn't ask for your opinion.
And he's often in situations like an older Batman wouldn't be in. Like, for example, being trapped in the GCPD. The Batsuit itself is super top tier. It reminds me of the Earth 1 Batman costume. It's way more grounded than, you know, the militaristic design of the Dark Knight trilogy, or even just like the rubber suit of the Batman films from the 90s. It has some character and it looks super cool playing it in Arkham Knight. Throughout the entire movie, he's portrayed as a detective, which is refreshing, considering I don't think we've seen that in any of the other Batman movies. I'm sure he's done some things like typed on a computer or looked at something much closer with a camera or something like that. But when you think about this character being called the world's greatest detective, it's about time that we got him to do some detective stuff. And no pun intended, the coolest integration of detective mode from the video games, and also giving a new angle or perspective on Batman's entire demeanor. When you see him in the first crime scene at the beginning of the movie, him just standing around extra stoic, examining things, just looking at things super quiet, still, is explained by the fact that he has these detective mode contact lenses that record things, can zoom in and see extra details. And I just thought that level of detail and also integration with Batman's gadgets and cool technology was a really cool twist. Everything just felt super realized and I really appreciated it. Now, all praise is due to the Batman, but at the same time, I have to criticize Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne. The way Bruce Wayne is presented here is not just something different for what we've seen before, but just nothing. There's no really defining characteristic of this Bruce Wayne that I could think of other than looking creepy. It makes sense, all things considered. This dude is insane, but one of the things that made Bruce completely insane was his ability to change his personality when it came to his alter ego, and that's pretty much non-existent here. He is Bruce Wayne as well as being Batman. It kind of surprises me that people don't figure out who this guy is, considering they both just stand there and look at things. Commissioner Gordon's presentation in this movie is also one of my favorite aspects of it. Jeffrey Wright's delivery of his lines is just either downright hilarious or completely endearing, and I would love to see more of this duo. His relationship with Batman is something that the other films haven't really gone into. In terms of their friendship, or at least their partnership, it's way more realized in this film. They're actually investigating crime scenes and bits of evidence together, and those scenes are amongst some of the best scenes in the entire movie.
He knows so much about you. You must know about him.
Who is he?
Boy, you guys are a hell of a duet here. Why'd you start harmonizing?
Colin Farrell as Penguin is one of the film's biggest highlights as well. Colin Farrell's makeup as the Penguin is some of the best I've seen in a film, period. He looks completely unrecognizable. It's also a much more realistic, grounded take on the Penguin as opposed to what we got with Danny DeVito in Batman Returns. But Colin Farrell does such an amazing transformation into a sleazy crime bucket like the Penguin that you just really have to appreciate it.
Boy, you're everything they say, ain't you? I guess we both are. How you doing? I'm Oz.
I'm actually super excited for his spin-off show, All Things Considered, and hopefully it carries on the level of quality that we're used to after seeing this movie. Catwoman actually has an interesting role in this movie, and it's a tie-in to the main plot. So she isn't just reduced to being, you know, this love interest exclusively for Batman, or just completely and utterly reduced to disgusting, terrible cat puns. But in this movie, they give her a reason to exist and also an actual arc. I'm all for how she's presented here. The romance is way more subtle. It's obvious, but there's some romance lines in this movie that go super hard, dude.
He has to pay!
You don't have to pay with him. You paid enough.
And the dialogue that's associated with it is way more subtle and way more romantic than we've seen in the past, as opposed to just being like a lustful encounter, you know? Then we get to the curious case of the villain, which is honestly, in most cases, the make or break for any superhero movie, and I gotta say, they passed the bar. But they just passed it. I mean, I do like the Riddler's presentation in this movie. I do give credit to the fact that he's like an unhinged content creator, though.
Thanks for all the comments, and a special thanks to everyone for the tips on detonators.
It's also a great case for having henchmen in real life, and I do like the Riddler's plan. I think my issue is just more so with Paul Dano's performance.
Oh, no, no! Nobody! No! Oh! This is not how this was supposed to go!
I don't know, he just wasn't believable for me. Now, the parts where he's just there, or even when he's live streaming, there are some really good parts here and there that, you know, exemplify how good of a performer he is. But I did like his riddles, as well as the wild goose chase that he sent Batman and Gordon on. I thought that was all pretty cool. I don't know, the monologue scene just didn't really work for me. I also have to say, the third act fake out that makes you think that Riddler and a couple other characters know Bruce Wayne's actually Batman is actually one of the more tense moments in the film. I actually really appreciate how they build up everything, kind of alluding to it being over for Batman. I guess me as an audience member was just prepared for them to take a different step or approach with storytelling when it comes to this character, but they didn't. In fact, it's playing on something completely on the other side of things, and I thought it was a great moment. John Turturro as Falcone, Carmine Falcone, is amazing. It was just great seeing my favorite character from the Transformers films show up in the Batman, and also actually put on a really good performance as this disgusting mob boss slimeball.
I got shot in the chest. I couldn't go to no hospital, so we showed up on his doorstep, operated right on the dining room table. We saw the whole thing. I remember your face.
The score for this movie is also really good, especially the Batman theme. My favorite song, however, has to be when the main Batman theme is remixed for the car chase on the highway with Penguin.
Turn it up.
The movie itself is also paced amazingly. I watched this movie again without ever reaching for my phone, which is a huge deal considering this film is at like 2 hours and 56 minutes. These are some of my favorite shots. I also had to include this little joke because when I was making the notes as I was watching the movie, some of my favorite shots just look like the titles of, like, I don't know, like a film score, or, you know, just like an album. And something that I didn't really like, it was the inclusion of the Joker. And it's Barry Keoghan, and I have no issue with the actor himself. I just feel like the inclusion of another Joker at this time, especially in the way that it was presented in this film, just came across super cheesy. Even outside of the fact that I would be okay with if there was sequel bait at the end, it's just the delivery and approach of it here just didn't really rub me the right way. But yes, honestly, I love this movie. This is one of my favorite depictions of Batman. To be honest with you, I can't confirm nor deny whether or not if I think this is the best Batman movie. I guess that'll just have to be settled at a later date when I finally rewatch the Dark Knight trilogy. But yes, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Bye bye.